Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're here with another Invasion shoot, part of our YouTube shoot series. We're here with Mr. Fantasy. Thank you for being here, man.
Yeah, not a problem. Thanks for having me.
No, absolutely. We're trying to expand and get some people in, and you're one of the guys who called us up and said, I want to sit in the couch. I want to sit in the chair. I want to talk to the people. I want to do a little bit of shooting. So thank you on behalf of Jerry and myself.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
It's not only Mr. Fantasy. We've also got Sexy Samantha.
Yes.
She is sitting to the left of you.
To the left of me.
She will be chiming in throughout the interview.
If I had to pick someone to be on camera and someone to be off camera, I'd have it switch.
She chimes in a lot.
Unfortunately, you know.
So Jerry would rather see her, but so
that's why I have her.
Right. We'll get into that later. But you can check out some of the other shoot videos that you've watched, some of the roundtable discussions. Go look at the Jester McCain, the Cyrus LeVay, the Jerry Reiner. Go look at the roundtable discussions where we talk about our favorite gimmicks. We just did a Bobby Doll one, so you're part of that list now. Welcome aboard. Thank you so much. Don't burn too many bridges.
not on account of us. We're not worth it.
Yeah, we're really not. But the first thing I like to do getting into these things is play a little get to know you. How did you get it? How did you stumble into the great sport of professional wrestling as a fan? Take us back.
That, as far as I can remember back, my dad's father, so my grandfather on my dad's side, was huge into wrestling. My dad actually was trained by Leon Baxter, the wrestling pro.
Really?
Never had a match.
Huh.
But he actually was trained. He had a twin brother, or has a twin brother, that was trained by Leon Baxter, the wrestling pro. My mom, my nanny, as we called her, my mom's mom, she was heavy into wrestling. You know, she was one of those take a drag of cigarette, put it down, and not blow the smoke down. Go to their matches. You know what I mean? So as far as I can remember back, I can remember I grew up on Continental more than anything in the beginning.
In the beginning, how old were you at that point? Was this something
4 years old?
Okay.
I can remember watching it. My granddad on my dad's side lived in Chipley. And we would watch it on Saturday evenings at 5 o'clock and get in the car and drive to Dothan before 7. It took about 45 minutes to get there, and we'd actually go to the farm center and watch.
Oh, wow.
The Continental.
Houston County Farm Center.
Yep. It's when they had dirt floors still.
Really?
So a long time ago.
Who were some of the guys you watched there that you really liked?
It's kind of strange. The Armstrongs were there. They were big into Continental back then. Other than Brian Road Dogg,
right?
He did wrestle there. I think he made his debut there in the late '80s, early '90s before he made it. But Bob, Scott, Steve, Brad,
sure,
the Fullers, they were there. Jimmy Golden, Buckhouse Buck, as he's known, I think nowadays.
Yeah.
I actually got to see Ric Flair wrestle for the first time in Continental.
How old were you?
I was 6.
Oh, wow!
He wrestled Bob.
Okay.
That's when I first saw Ric Flair. That was it. It was like Flair's the man, and
okay.
You know.
So you were the Southern NWA Continental.
Yeah, Continental mainly until we got cable in Laurel Hill where I grew up. We didn't have cable for a long time. So I got Continental because it was Channel 4, which is used antenna. Antenna outside it comes in clear, and then I think in '93 we actually got cable.
Right on.
So we get NWA. Was turned into WCW.
About in '93 when you got about how old were you? You don't have to give it away, but some people are very weird about 15. Okay. 16. I got to. Now my aunt lived in Fro Ellis. I got to see some like the Clash of the Champions and stuff they had when it was NWA still. I got to watch it. Like I got to see the famous 2 out of 3 Ricky Steamboat versus Ric Flair match with the chicken wing and all. I remember.
You saw that live?
Well, I saw it on TV live.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't get to go.
Yeah.
Say damn.
No. Huge Flair mark, man.
Really?
Yes. Flair is wrestler, not the greatest ever, technically, but performer, don't get any better.
Because you even, your entrance music.
Yeah, I marked out a little bit. Got my entrance music. It kind of starts with his, about 30 seconds of his, and it breaks into what I've used.
Right.
Yeah, I had to admit I rolled my eyes.
So,
New eyes.
Have you seen Jerry wrestle lately?
No, I haven't seen
yeah,
it.
basically Jerry just steals Muda spots, so don't let him give you any crap.
Go fuck yourself, guy.
It's just I don't use the whole song, but I kind of figure when it plays, I know people.
No, that's an homage, my friend.
I don't give a shit.
Oh yeah.
No, that's an homage. If that guy left that much of an impact on you, and you feel the need to tribute him in that way, do it.
Yeah, Flair was the man from the get-go. He was like, what amazed me about Flair the most was he never had the body. But he still got it. Nowadays it's all about muscles. Flair never had a body. Even if you read his book before, he says, I never had a body.
Right.
But he got over because he could work. I mean, he was an entertainer.
Sure.
You know? Dirtiest player in the game, and that's what he made himself. So, but yeah, I love Flair growing up. And Bob, and the funny thing is, Bob was a big influence on me. And then to be trained by the Armstrongs when I got into wrestling was really.
Well, that's a good point to bring it up. You talk about being trained by the Armstrongs. At what point, you said you were about 15 when you got the cable. When did you kind of go, hey, I really like watching this. I can do it?
Since I was 3.
Really?
I mean, I knew I wanted to be a wrestler since I was 3 years old.
No kidding.
Then I kind of gave up on it when I was 17, 18 years old. I thought, it's never going to happen. I don't know where to go. I don't have the money. To go to the power plant and give them $3,000, $5,000, whatever it was. I didn't have the money. One day, I was in Andalusia, Alabama. I was living up there at the time. I saw a poster for a show, and I said, I love wrestling, so I said, I'm going to go, and got there about 2 hours early.
Was that like your first indie show?
No. I've been to some here and there.
Okay.
I don't remember. There's some coming in Crestview before when I was growing up. As far as me remembering, I'd say, yeah, as far as actually remembering the matches and all. But Steve Armstrong was running the show. And I got there about 2 hours early.
How old were you about this point?
I was 18, 19 years old. 18?
Like 20.
19, 20, maybe
20,
20.
okay. That's why she's here.
Yeah, exactly.
Fact checker.
Yeah, I kind of, I was like, hey man, how do you get into this? I don't know how you want to train, and he's like, oh, no problem. Going back to my dad being trained though, not that I was trained, but my dad put me in more wrestling holds. Put me in them to where my mom had to come beat him off of me.
So,
because he had me locked up.
You had a little experience.
Yeah, I knew how to put moves on. But I didn't know it was work.
The mechanics, right?
Yeah, because I would be, and my dad, I would be in the floor crying, Mom, please get him off. 13, 12, 13 years old.
He was protecting the business.
Yeah, so that's how your son is now.
Now, yeah.
Nice.
I put him on him, so he knows.
Sure.
My dad would put me in hold. Figure 4. I remember being in figure 4 for 10 minutes one time and yelling, "Ma!" And he's just laughing.
Yeah.
I can't get out.
All you
got to
do is roll over.
And finally, she come in and say, "Ronnie, let him go. I'm tired of hearing him scream." So because it was hurting me. It was hurting, right? And Steve put me in the ring that day, just kind of preliminary thing. And
how'd you feel? Explain your first bump.
It was like everybody else's. It was horrible. Yeah, it hurt. Right in my head.
Did you stand up and go, "Yeah, this isn't for me," or did
No, I knew I loved it too much to quit. I went to the lockups and all, and Steve Armstrong told me, he said, you understand what's going on. He said, I was about to talk about my dad, but I was trained, but knew how to lock up and all that kind of stuff. And so, honestly, I trained 3 times. Is all I ever trained with Steve Armstrong, and he put me in the ring. I had a tag match.
Wait! You trained? You had three sessions. 3 sessions of training.
2 hours long. Yeah.
So you had 6 hours of training.
Pretty much, yeah.
See,
and it was like this. Love Steve to death, but with me, I don't think he would take people's money. $100 a shot. He'd have 8 people there.
Right.
$100.
Yeah.
I paid him out of 3 lessons. I paid him twice, so I paid $200. Is what I paid him. He put me in the ring. And I've kind of learned from that point. He'd still show me things, and I had Scotty, who, by the way, is the greatest of the Armstrongs. He's the nicest one you'll ever meet.
Scotty is one of the greatest human beings on the planet.
We're all huge Scott Armstrong marks over here in this studio.
But he helped me out a lot in the back. The main thing I learned from Steve, though, was shut your mouth and listen.
Yeah, I learned that too.
Don't just shut up. You don't know shit.
Yeah.
Listen what you're being told.